Just 5 more minutes. Suddenly, a man's voice came through the intercom. Yes, who is it? He sounded rather guarded. It's Minorikawa. Where might I know you from, Mr. Minorikawa? Oh, you know, here and there. I mean, there's only one Minorikawa, really. Are you playing games with me? I don't have the time for that. Please, just open up. There's no way I'm letting you in. This discussion was getting them nowhere. Minorikawa decided he'd have to take the direct approach. Look, just hold your horses. I'm here for an interview. You got that? An interview? He'd taken the bait. Most folks could hardly resist the word interview. That's right. It's a piece for 4-star general gossip. Wait. This is for one of those kinds of articles. The man sounded angry now. What do you mean, those kinds of articles? I'm just looking for an interview. Like hell you are. I'm not talking to anyone from the gossip. You're not the one I'm here to talk to. I want to interview your twin daughters. My daughters? No parent would deny their children a chance for word of their achievements to spread. I understand they won a shared prize for a beauty contest at Midoriyama Academy. If you wouldn't mind my interviewing them, The intercom cut out before Minorikawa could finish. Hey, what gives? I'm begging out here. On my hands and knees. He wasn't actually on his hands and knees, but whoever was on the other end couldn't see that. It's not like they have a camera or anything that he's looking right at. If your daughters aren't home, can you at least tell them I want to get in touch with them? He wasn't even using the intercom now. He was just shouting over the gate. A man stepped out the front door. Give me your business card, he said. I'll have them get in touch with you later. The man had a somewhat stricken look on his face. This had to be Kenji Osawa, then. Wait, hold on. Osawa. Now Minorikawa recognized him. This was Kenji Osawa, the preeminent virologist who worked for Akoshi Pharmaceutical. 4-star general gossip had run a scandalous article on him in the past. Minorikawa remembered reading it. He held out his business card and Osawa snatched it from him. The virologist started to head back into his house. Please see that they get back to me, Mr. Osawa, Minorikawa shouted after him. Then he noticed something odd. It was the middle of the afternoon, but every window in the house had its curtains drawn. That, combined with Osawa's demeanor, set off alarm bells in Minorikawa's head. He knew he was onto something, but he couldn't linger at the Osawa residence any longer than he already had. He needed to get to that theater ASAP. He hurried back to the taxi and told Kimizuka to go. I wonder if we're actually going to get to meet this famous theater troupe that we've been hearing so much about in all these, crazy tips. A few minutes later, the rear tires skidded sharply as the cab came to a stop beside a different curb. The trip from Shoto to the theater in Sakuragaoka had taken almost no time at all. Here we are, sir, Kimizuka announced. Wow, that was fast. Still, Minorikawa was at least 5 minutes behind schedule. He'd hoped he'd still be able to get the interview with Oari. Or Oarai. And we're at a keep out. Interesting. Alright. Well, now what? Let's see. I guess we go back to Kano. I'm not going to start anybody else's until we absolutely have to, but I feel like somebody's gonna Like, Kano is probably gonna run into something where we're gonna have to start messing with other people. So. Yeah, let's just jump right here. It's Hitomi. Osawa remained silent. Mr. Osawa, is everything alright? The line went dead. Guess that answers that well enough, Kano said as he put away his phone. Now it was clear why the criminals were after Hitomi. He saw an uneasy look on Stanley's face. Something on your mind? Kano asked. Stanley responded with a question of his own. If Hitomi was carrying the antiviral, how were the criminals planning on getting it from her? Kano thought for a moment. Well, taking her by force at the scramble posed too high a risk, he said. There were nearly 100 detectives there, and they must have guessed there would be. That's why they devised the attaché case relay. They wanted to abduct Hitomi somewhere away from the Dragnet's notice. This was the plan that all the signs seemed to suggest. But still, he added, I wonder how they managed to lead her away from the police protection. A look of revelation crossed Stanley's face. All they'd need to do was convince her to go somewhere of her own accord. But how? Kano asked. And then it came to him. He thought back to Hitomi's initial contact with Tariq Al-Karawan. Just before he'd taken the attaché case from her. We've actually read all this already, so I'm actually just going to skip ahead all the way to... Wait. This is still a bad end, isn't it? Okay, we're back on this bad end, somehow. So, I guess we actually have to go do something with Maria here, right? Because we got this bad end where he got this costume. So if we just try to avoid him having that costume, maybe with Maria, then I don't know. Let's give it a shot anyway. We'll do Achi last, I guess. So, alright, time to meet Maria for the first time. The sales clerk continues to stare at me. You know, you look really familiar, he says. Huh? Really? I perk up at that. Maybe I can find out something about who I am. Yeah, you totally look like some pop singer or TV personality. I just can't remember who. Oh, that's what you meant. My shoulders slump in disappointment. Look, if you're trying to flatter me, how about a discount on the necklace? Sure, okay. I mean, it's just something I picked up off the side of the road. The sales clerk stammers for a moment. Okay, how about I take off 10,000? 30,000 and it's yours. You mean it? That perks me right back up. Guess I'm easy to please. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not what she means and you know it. Sure, you look like you might need to buy some new clothes, too. He points to my sweater. Oh, it's ripped. There's a tiny tear in the left shoulder. So, what do you want to do about that cat? The sales clerk adds. Want me to dispose of it for you? He gestures at my costume with his jaw. Alright, what should I do? Okay, this is gonna determine what happens in Kano's route. I think we should deal with it ourselves, because I think if he gets rid of it, he's gonna give it to Sasayama, so... Let's take this one. I feel a little guilty about having him go out of his way for me more than he has already. Maybe I should deal with it myself. He looks a bit disappointed when I tell him that. I buy the necklace for 30,000 yen and leave the knick-knack shop, hauling the costume with me. But as I walk along, I start regretting my decision. I can't find a good place to throw the cat outfit away. Finally, I spot a convenience store that looks like it'll do just fine. Okay, this is actually the wrong choice. One of the employees is out front cleaning out the trash can. Several large garbage bags line the side of the road. Perfect. Maybe I can have him toss out the costume along with everything else. Excuse me, so I've got this old cat suit here. I figure it can't hurt to ask. Yeah, I know. The shop boy takes the costume from me. The guy's name is Taku Okado. 22-year-old, getting by on part-time employment. Recently, after a number of employees quit in rapid succession, the owner hurriedly took on several new hires, but for some reason, instead of everyone chipping in on the cleaning, Okado always winds up stuck doing it. You're here to throw this thing out. I got it. He sounds wholly unsurprised. He accepts it so blithely that I actually feel bad. It's been like this all morning, he says. I don't even care anymore. Just throw away what you need and be on your way, I guess. It's been like what all morning? I'm out here cleaning and people keep dumping trash on me. First it was this couple that up and threw a garbage bag at me. That was Achi Endo and Hitomi Osawa, the two who have just run into a girl called Kanan. Huh. But that should be... I would think that would be a jump, but it's not. But interestingly, I don't remember this guy at all. Maybe we did throw a trash bag at him, but I just don't remember, but yeah, I don't know. After that, some homeless-looking guy came by, took all his clothes off, and left. Detective Yuji Sasayama from the Shibuya precinct. At the moment, Sasayama's searching for a costume for his next disguise. Like just now, some chubby girl tossed out some empty cardboard boxes and a bunch of empty bottles. Wow. That must have been Chibi. She was probably drinking the burning hammer while she walked along. So, when you came by just now with this thing, I knew right away. Yep, this again. I'm sorry. It's alright. 3 times, 4 times, what's the difference? He flashes a bright smile, but it's clearly insincere. Then he looks at me more closely. Let me just double check. Okay, yeah, this actually does change the bad end, so I'm not gonna jump there right now, but that's good to know. Huh. Aren't you the girlfriend of that dude who threw the bag of garbage at me? Oh, I guess she looks a lot like Hitomi. What? Nope, not me. Huh, guess I'm misremembering then. Well, anyway, thanks for your help with this. I have a feeling we're gonna run into a lot of, like, situations where Hitomi and Maria are, like, just barely gonna almost run into each other, but they're never actually going to until, like, near the end of the story or something. Or maybe we actually can get them to run into each other, but it'll lead to a bad end or something, so I don't know. I give the guy a bow. A few minutes later, near the station, I spot a sort of mall. Checking the directory by the entrance, I see that it's got several clothing shops and an arcade inside. They probably sell shirts in here. I hurry on inside. I wonder if her appearance will actually change in the menu if we give her a new shirt. The interior of the building is like a twisting maze of corridors, all of them overflowing with people. I take the escalator to the second floor and find myself amidst rows of arcade games. I was trying to get to the fashion area, but I must have gone the wrong way. Excuse me. Isn't this the guy from Inonikawa's story? The guy with the kid? You haven't seen a lost little girl, have you? God damn it. I turn to see a miserable-looking middle-aged man peering at me anxiously. Teruo Toyama. He got separated from his daughter Hana while running from debt collectors. He's on edge, worried that the men who are after him might take Hana hostage. So we've got this whole little subplot going on in this game. Have you seen her? A little girl about 10 years old. Girl about 10. Have I seen her? What's her name? Hana. Hana Toyama. Hana. Oh, that's a pretty name. Pretty sure it means flower. So, she's about yay tall. The man launches into a rapid-fire explanation, describing the girl's features, hair, and clothes. I got separated from her around Center Guy. She likes this place, so I thought maybe she'd come here. Center Guy. That's right, now I remember. This is the guy I bumped into earlier in the afternoon while I was racing around in the cat costume. He got separated from his daughter. Yikes, if she did come here, it's not going to be easy to find her in the midst of these crowds. Are you sure she didn't go back home? I ask. Well, there's this problem, he mutters. Going home isn't an option. Well, that's not really an explanation. Sorry to bother you. I'll look around a bit more. With that, Hana's father disappears into the crowd, so he's not even gonna give us like a number to call or anything if we see her, I guess. I leave the arcade and head for the fashion area. I bump into Mr. Yanagashita in a hallway lined with photo booths. Huh, boss? What's he doing in a place like this? Oh, Tama, you're out of the suit. For some reason, he's got a bunch of magazines strewn across the floor. Yeah, I finally managed to get it off. I forgot that she doesn't even know her name is Maria. That's good. I wish you could have been at the sales demo without your face hidden away. What are you doing? You mentioned something about a creek earlier. Are you going on a trip? Yeah, I was, but then I remembered something important. I get motion sickness, something fierce. He sounds kind of proud of himself. So yeah, no trips for me. Heck, I don't even want to think about that now. What about the money you owe? I ask, curious. Well, that's what happens. I think I may have found my solution. He brings a hand to his mouth and giggles. Right here. I found a great way to make a killing. To earn a lot of money, usually in a very short amount of time, and or with little effort. The phrase originated in the 19th century in reference to hunters who were paid based on the number of kills they made. He opens the magazine he's holding to reveal a scratch card with a potential 100,000 yen prize. You just gotta scratch off these to win 100,000 yen. All I need is 30 of them, and my debt's squared away. Each magazine I can nab is more money for me. Despite his enthusiasm, his story doesn't quite add up. Are those scratch cards guaranteed to win? No, of course not. It's a lottery sort of thing. Well, then having 30 copies of the magazine is hardly a foolproof solution. Quite the opposite, in fact, but I hold my tongue. Okay then, now that my goddess of fortune Tama's here, let me hurry and scratch these suckers off. Yanagashita begins fervently scratching away at the first card with a coin. Ah, that one's a loser. Maybe the next one. Nope, that's a loser too. Damn it, so's this one, and this one. In a spectacular display, he scratches off one losing card after another. Soon he's down to just one last magazine. You're not a very lucky person, are you? Oh, please don't say that. Mr. Yanagashita looks like he's on the verge of tears. I stare at one of the losing scratch cards. You know, if you could just see the symbols through the card, you'd win for sure, I say jokingly. I hold the card up to the light. When I do, I really can see the symbols through the card. Boss, I think I might have just... Shh. He interrupts me before I can share my shocking discovery. I look at him in surprise. Mr. Yanagashita has gone all pale. Quiet, Tama. Those guys are here. He shoves me into a photo booth. Oh god. Those guys. The debt collectors, he hisses. They just do not give up. He clutches the side of his head. Peeking out of the booth, I spot a pair of men who look pretty rough around the edges. Is it those two? Shh, not so loud. The men are looking around and they're getting closer and closer. What do I do? Oh, what do I do? Yanagashita starts getting panicky. Tama, what do I do? I have no idea. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Mr. Yanagashita whimpers. Getting involved with those thugs strikes me as a bad idea. I pretend not to know Yanagashita and run off. Well, I don't know. Let's not be cold. This guy gave me a job, so I kind of owe him. I'll look around for a better place for the two of us to hide. Unfortunately, I don't really see anywhere that might work. We might be safest staying right where we are. Just stay nice and still and we'll be fine, I whisper. Yeah, you're probably right. The curtain is drawn so people can't see inside, but just to keep up in appearances, we start taking photos as if we're normal customers. That's probably not a good idea because I'm pretty sure those come out outside, right? Like the printed photos, they actually just like get printed right outside when you enter the door or exit the door. I really hope they don't look in here, Mr. Yanagashita murmurs. What'll we do if they find us? Oh, they won't. Just don't worry. Despite my reassurance, it was a while before he stopped trembling. Then he said, You know, Tama, they say that when a man and a woman meet under unusual circumstances, it's easy for them to fall in love. Uh-huh. Do they now? They do. Going through an extreme situation together makes you fall for each other. I mean, it worked for Achi and Hitomi. I don't know about this one, though. Wanna go get married? No way. Yeah, I'm not having this conversation. Anyway, I think they're gone now. The debt collectors, I mean. Mr. Yanagashita peeks out and quickly scans the surrounding area. They're gone. They're gone! Ha ha ha! So long, losers! His fear has given way to a burst of manic energy. Guess I'm in the clear now. Thanks, Tama. Come on, let's take some commemorative photos. Huh? To commemorate what, exactly? Come on, it'll be fun. Okay, big smile now. Ready? Cheese. Butter, margarine, what? After that, I part ways with Mr. Yanagashita and head to a different floor. I hope that those pictures don't, like, somehow come back to, like, bite her in the ass somehow. I don't know. I don't tell him about being able to see through the scratch cards. The guy really ought to develop a proper work ethic. Hey, come on, wait up. I'm on the escalator to the 3rd floor when I hear someone chatting. I figure it's someone yelling to their kid, but when I turn to look, I see a young man I don't recognize staring right at me. Oh, is it going to be Achi, who thinks that she's Hitomi? Where are you going? It's not safe for us to get too separated. Oh my god, it is. What? Who's this weirdo? Is this some new pickup trick or something? I rush up the escalator to get away from the guy. When I get to the restaurant section on the 4th floor, I'm hit with a sudden pang of hunger. Come to think of it, I haven't eaten a thing all day. I'm so hungry, I mutter to myself as I walk around. What should I eat? Then I saw Chidi coming out of a Chinese restaurant. Hey Chidi. She turns to look at me, confused. Who are you? Oh, it's me. It's Tama. Ah, I thought I recognized that voice, she replies with a nod. Did you eat again? I ask. Well, yeah, but then they kicked me out. She's been eating non-stop literally this entire day. Isn't that just terrible? She looks pretty displeased. I came here because they said it was all you can eat, but then they closed shop because they ran out of food. Jesus. Oh wow, you're right. Well, I guess she's not going in there. I spot one of the restaurant staff hanging a clothes sign on the front door. Man, now my early afternoon snack is ruined. An afternoon snack? At an all-you-can-eat buffet? I can't help but stare at Chidi's midsection, amazed by what that stomach is capable of. All things considered, she looks pretty good, honestly, like, considering the sheer, like, volume that should literally be killing her right now. By the way, have you seen the boss? She asks. I thought he'd finally accepted that he needs to buckle down and work, but he's got some new crazy scheme. Guess the guy's just never gonna learn. I figured nothing good's gonna come from associating with him. I'd be careful if I were you. Huh. Done with her little rant, Chidi says goodbye and heads off among the restaurants. Hitomi? Who said that? Were they talking to me? Is that Tanaka? I turned to see a businessman of some sort staring in my direction. Like everyone I've run into today, I don't recognize him. For some reason, though, I feel relaxed in his presence. Is that you, Hitomi? Well, if it was Tanaka, he should surely be able to tell the difference between Hitomi and Maria, so he probably doesn't think. Well, he'll probably know. Hitomi? Would that be my name? Or are you Maria? Okay, so he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't spend too much time with him. No, As I fumble for words, the man peers at me with obvious concern. What are you doing in a place like this? We need to get you back home. Your parents are worried sick. My parents? Did someone file a missing person report while I've been wandering around with amnesia? I mean, if we could get her home, that would be nice, but I just don't think that's gonna happen, honestly. The man leads the way, and I follow. We leave the Jigo building, but head down a narrow alleyway, then the man suddenly stops. This is not good, I don't think. Especially considering he might be working with the kidnappers, like, I don't know. I feel a jolt of anxiety as I notice something gleaming in his hand. It doesn't matter which of the two you are. You're both in the way. He mutters, almost as if talking to himself. Well then, right after that, everything goes dark. Okay, Tanaka is clearly not on Osawa's side, because he would not be doing that if he was, so, yeah. So how can we stop that? I guess we could try... maybe, actually chasing after her with Achi. That might be something to try. Let's just, play a little bit with Achi, and then, the first save we hit, we'll stop for this episode. You must be Hitomi. The girl called Kanan spoke fairly fluent Japanese. Hitomi nodded in response. Yes, that's me. And you're Kanan, right? How did you know my name? Did Maria tell you? Yes. She told me about this amazing girl from overseas she made friends with. A thin smile crossed Kanan's lips at the word amazing. Then her look grew sad. Poor Maria. It's my fault she was abducted. What? Achi and Hitomi gasped in unison. That's why I have to rescue her, Kanan added. Hold on a second, Hitomi said. What do you mean it's your fault? Kanan replied by jerking her chin to the direction of the main road. Better head that way, she said softly. Someone's coming. But Hitomi didn't back down. Please tell me, why was my sister kidnapped? Several sets of footsteps echoed down the alley. They could see figures approaching now. By the looks of them, accomplices of the man Kanan had taken down earlier. You two get out of here, she warned. I'll handle this. She stepped out in front of Achi and Hitomi, moving with such confidence that they didn't doubt she could handle the threat. "Come to the Jigo building at 3 o'clock, she added quietly, never taking her eyes off the advancing syndicate members. "Huh?" Hitomi squeaked. "I'll explain everything then." The criminals broke into a run. "Come on, Hitomi, let's go," Achi hissed. He took her by the hand and bolted from the alleyway. The two didn't slow their pace until they'd put plenty of distance between themselves and the alleyway. Kanan said this was her fault. What could she have meant by that? The hard run hadn't made Hitomi forget the other girl's startling suggestion. "Well, she said she'll meet up with us again later," Achi said. "We can ask her more about it then." In the meantime, an ache in his belly made Achi realize he'd been running all day and hadn't eaten since the morning. People on a diet need to be careful about skipping meals. Going too long without proper nourishment can cause the body to store up its energy reserves, leading to weight gain instead of loss. Proper eating habits and proper exercise are key. Maybe it's not the best timing, but if you want to get some food... "No, I'll be okay." Hitomi's face was racked with emotion. It's only natural, Achi thought. Not only was she afraid for her sister's life, but there were all these people out to kill her, too. And with this Kanan girl suddenly showing up, the situation was more confusing than ever. Still, they might as well address the few problems they could control. There was a fast food joint nearby. "Let's go in there," Achi said. "You might not be hungry, but you should still make sure you stay hydrated." Hitomi shook her head, but her one face practically radiated exhaustion. I don't know if that means like one as in like the Chinese/Japanese onomatopoeia for a dog barking, or if that's like an actual word in English. I don't know. "Come on, we should rest up a little." But there's no rush. If we're gonna meet up with Kanan later, it's probably best if we don't just wander aimlessly until then. Never know who we might run into. I guess you're right. The two went into the fast food restaurant together. Alright, so that's a save. So, until next time, take care, and I will see you then.